Thank you for joining me. My name is Toby Muse and I am here in the main park in central Kabul. I've been in Kabul, Afghanistan for the past 2 weeks, really looking in on the first 6 months in power of the Taliban. We all remember those images of the Taliban taking control of this country last year after the Americans pulled out all of their troops. Now we're looking at the problems facing this new Taliban government, and one of those problems is the crisis of addiction we are seeing in this country, in Afghanistan. There are millions of people addicted to drugs in this country. And here in this park is where you see some of those addicts. It's a daily sight. It's amongst the families who have come here to play cricket, to have a picnic. Behind them, you will see these people taking drugs at any time of the day. Now, mostly they're taking heroin or opium, but increasingly methamphetamine. So, we've been following the story about what to do about that problem. Now, the new Taliban government has said that they want to tackle this problem head on. I'm just going to let this go by. This is kind of a busy park, as I say, here in the center of Kabul. We've spoken to the Taliban to kind of get their view on this because they are the people who are now ruling Afghanistan. They say that what this is to do is that they are determined to tackle this problem in a way they say other governments just simply did not do. They say other governments allowed these drug addicts to kind of just be a permanent sight on the streets of Kabul. We're going to go down here. We may see some drug addicts. As I say, they're that common. Now, so what the Taliban decided to do was they decided to launch these raids where early in the morning, late at night, they turned up to where the drug addicts had been sleeping on the streets, and they forcibly took them, put them on buses and drove them to these rehabilitation clinics. They were forcibly sent there. The idea was that they would spend 45 days in treatment. That was the plan. Now, we went to one of those treatment centers to see how it was. And you saw this mix of people. Some people had gone there voluntarily. They said that they were tired of living on the street. They were tired of being a drug addict. But we spoke to other people who said that they had already been there for 3 months now. And what it turns out is happening is that the treatment center will not let those people leave if their families don't come and collect them, i.e. someone is responsible for them. Now, what people say privately is that they say that the Taliban is using this drug rehabilitation clinic almost as a way to cut down the problem of homelessness in the city of Kabul. They're keeping these people against their will. These people can't leave this rehabilitation clinic, all because these people don't have a family member who will come and vouch for them and take them home. Now, when you speak to people, though, who, normal people who run stores, who sell stuff on the streets, many of them are quite supportive of the Taliban. They say, in that sense, they say that that policy of the drug addicts had gotten completely out of control. It was this daily sight that often the drug addicts would hassle people in order to beg for money. And we spoke to one man who sold tea on a street corner. He said he was very supportive of the Taliban rounding these guys up, forcibly taking them to this rehabilitation clinic. But on the other hand, he said he wanted to see the Taliban do even more because there's still drug addicts on the streets. Now, there's one other factor which I think we need to talk about as well, is why are there so many addicts? So when we spoke to people, one of the constant things we heard was it was because of the cratering economy, but also this is a country that has gone through decades and decades of violence. So there is this kind of trauma within many people. And on top of that, the idea is what many people are saying regarding why there are so many people being addicted to drugs is the fact that Afghanistan is the #1 producer of opium on the planet. That is where we are. After 2 decades of that American occupation of this country, that's what came about. Now, we asked the Taliban, we said, now this is your responsibility, what are you planning on doing it? And the member of the Taliban who spoke to us about this, he said, well, at the moment, we need help from the international community in order to tackle this problem. Why? Because according to some estimates, opium and the production of heroin could account for as much as 1/10 of this economy. So what the Taliban fear is that if they go in too quick, eradicate this entire industry, it could handicap even more this already cratering economy. So they say they have to move slowly. but they say they are absolutely determined to tackle that in the future. Again, that's something we're going to keep an eye on. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you watch our report on the situation of drug use and addiction here in the country of Afghanistan. My name is Toby Muse. Thank you.